What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. Today we're gonna be talking about the rootin', tootin', claim, smolden, rockin', sockin' character that is XINYAN. We're gonna be talking about her today. She is the consolation prize for Zhongli. If you guys want to know where I tiered Zhongli for Abyss specifically, not overall in the entire game, check out the video. I'll have it floating here, maybe an annotation, or the link will be in the description down below, so make sure you guys go ahead and check it out. Some backlash on that one. A lot of people are very iffy about Zhongli, but it is what it is. I will admit he's a lot weaker than I expected him to be, but hopefully maybe we'll see a buff, maybe we won't, and we're gonna have to deal with 5 stars having to have some work put into them to be really good. But anyway, moving on from that, the Instagram giveaway is still going on to this very day. It ends on the 10th, and the winner will be announced on Instagram on the 11th. I'll also say the winner here as well, so everyone has the idea of who won. And that person is gonna have to jump in the Discord and DM me exactly like all their information. But anyway, moving on, if you guys want to be part of any of these giveaways, make sure you are subscribing to the channel. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button. There's roughly 80% of you guys watching the videos and you guys aren't subscribed, so go ahead and hit that red button if you guys want to be included in these giveaways later on. Don't forget to smash the like button, and gotta hit those notification bells so you guys know exactly when the videos are coming out for you guys. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about XINYAN. We're here amongst the one of the coolest characters on the banner. While Zhongli is the main prize and he has all the forefront of attention, whether it be negative or positive, whether it's because he's husbando or how good he is, she is coming in second place for attention. She is a pretty strong character, and I think people should not look past this character. She has very interesting ways of building her. She requires physical damage for her elemental burst, and I don't know why I said that, but she also needs defense percentage for her shields, which is linked to her elemental skill. So let's go ahead and move on to see how we can potentially build her for the future. So she's gonna need the violet lamps or the violet grass. One of the more irritating ones to farm, but if you do have Kiki, it makes it super easy. You guys can find it everywhere along the coastline of a particular area. I think it's Mingyun Valley or area. These coins pretty easy to come from. Treasure hunters are everywhere in that location. And obviously, if you have the more to do so and you've killed enough pyrovines are pretty easy to in the first place. She comes with a substat of attack percentage, which is pretty good for claymore characters to scale off of. They are the highest multiplier in the game in terms of damage output. So her attack talents are pretty normal. It's really interesting because she's a Lie character, and she doesn't have the traditional 5 strikes. She has the 4 consecutive strikes. Now, if you guys didn't know, Beidou has the 5 strikes and she doesn't, and so does Chongyun. But here it seems like she's more of on the Mondstadt side, where they do 4 consecutive strikes and the final hammer. So I don't know how I feel about that. That's a little interesting. Over there, here are the percentages and the multipliers of the attacks. And this is just not really generic information. It is useful information, but once you've seen the chart for a Claymore character that's a 4-star, it tends to be very, very similar or pretty much the same. But sweeping fervor, the elemental skill is one of the most important things of this character's kit. When she brandishes her instrument, she deals pyro damage on nearby enemies, forming a shield made out of her audience's passion. So this is scaled according to how many enemies are around you. So if she hits 0 on 1, she does ad lib. Version 2, or hits 2 enemies, she gets lead in, and hitting number 3 grants level 3 rave. which also does dot damage with pyro damage nearby enemies, which is the most important one you're going to need. And I think this is where this character is a little on the iffier side. There is a lot that goes into keeping this character's damage and output and shield up. So the shield has special properties. When it is activated, it gives XINYAN pyro damage imbued onto her claymore, and it has 250% damage absorption effectiveness against pyro damage. So fighting any pyro enemies, you're not going to be taking damage at all. It's going to absorb additional damage built in. As for the swing damage, you have it right here. This is the base damage as she's railing on the guitar, getting the shield ready. This is the base damage you're going to get. And these are the shield effects, the shield duration right here, and the cooldown. So you're going to have a 6-second window in between the shield's duration and the cooldown to be able to recycle. Obviously, if you have energy recharge, this is not an issue. It's going to come back. The cooldown is going to come back a lot faster than it normally would be. Then Riff Revolution. I think this is actually the skill that makes her extremely good. It's very, very good, especially at C2, C4, and C6. Riff Revolution is very interesting skill, and she strums up rapidly, and then she launches all the enemies away from her, dealing physical damage to them all. So it's scaled off of physical damage and not anything else. So in the case of, you're gonna have to pick, what do you want to do? Do you want to use the bullet build to maintain shield integrity, or do you want to use bullet on a different character to maintain that shield integrity that she has and gain all those nice effects, because bullet affects the other characters also on shield? Or do you want to go for a typical Chevalier 2-piece, Gladiator 2-piece with some defense thrown in and physical damage as the cup strength? So there's a lot of versatility when it comes to building her, and that's what the honing in that we're going to be doing to build this character. I am going to eventually build her myself. I have her at C2, which is really good. A lot of her constellations for this character is very bang for your buck. Every constellation has immediate value except obviously C3 and C5. Those are the most generic constellations out of any character, period. But C2, C1, C4, and C6 have a lot of value inherently in them, and you guys should know this for a fact. Obviously, the atmosphere causes an explosion, the sheer intensity in it, and it deals pyro damage to nearby enemies. So you can mix it around. You can do pyro damage. You can do physical damage to ramp up with the Chevalier set. You can add so many things put together, for the most part. And these are the percentages for the skill damage, starting off at 340%, which is really good, and then it scales from there. Her talent extension materials, she is the guidance of gold for her skills, and she uses treasure hunter's insignia for the most part, and with child's material right here as her upgrade material for her passives or for her talents. For passive talents, she has a cook passive for exploration, pretty much, and she has a 12% chance of doubling the product of defensive cooked items. And the show must go on even while the audience. This is her, I believe, her level 50 passive right here, and it will decrease the number of enemies swooping forward must hit to trigger each leveling of the shield. So it reduces everything by 1, which was the original issue with the character's kit, but they alleviated it later on with these talents. And this is really important because this allows her to go boss hunting. This allows her to have lead in trigger on one enemy to hit, which is really, really important. It gives her shield strength, lasting power. The only issue is Rave is not available on enemy unless you have a particular constellation, and you can ramp up all that damage. Really, really powerful. And then now that's rock and roll. Character shielded by sweeping fervor, deal 15% increased physical damage. Now this is really interesting for those who are invested in Razor, this is an interesting character to pair up with Razor. Now, everyone says that she's good with Fischl, but she's also really, really good with Razor as well, now because of Rock and Roll. That's important because Razor does have a giant increase in physical damage. As he levels up, his physical damage also ramps around, or ramps along with him. So, this is, take these into consideration when building teams. She's good with Fischl, she's good with anyone who can cause overload reactions, maybe some melting or vaporized reactions. Really, really strong in that case. For her constellations, upon the very first one, this is C1, upon scoring a crit hit, increases the attack speed of her normal and charge attacks at 12% for 5 seconds. It can only occur once every 5 seconds, but this is here. We all know Claymores can run damage really quick, make a crit hit build. But the second one is going to be very, very, very important one. Riff Revolution's physical damage has its crit rate increased by 100% and will form a shield at shield level 3 Rave when cast. This is the most important part. This is going to change XINYAN from just a regular mobbing diva to a boss destroying superstar. It's going to make her really, really powerful, and this is going to pretty much change the way you build her and play her, because having tons of crit rate means you can just invest in crit damage, and being able to recycle her elemental burst is going to be a very important factor when using her C2 and C1. Now C3, obviously we all know what those are, C3 and C3, C5, so you can see all of those. But Wildfire Rhythm, swinging for her swing damage decreases upon its physical res, or decreases upon its physical res, by 15% for 12 seconds. Really important, really good for Razor as well. So you tie that with Razor's 15% defense reduction, and you're looking at tons of damage for someone like Razor. You're getting lots of debuffs, you're getting a lot of buffs combined. It seems that XINYAN and Razor were thought in mind together, because that's how it seems like, and the banner had both of them together. So it feels like they put Razor here because they're trying to scream at you guys and say, hey, look what Razor can do with her. So it seems like it might be a good investment for those who are Razor mains to test out XINYAN and see how strong she can be. And then the very last one is decrease the stamina consumption of XINYAN's charge attack by 30%, which is big, and her charge attacks now being at attack bonus equal to 50% of her defense, which is also pretty nice. That 50% of her defense, if you're leaning towards a shield build, is going to be very high. So this is a good C6 to have. Overall, her kit is really strong. I personally think that she's probably the best defensive character in the game, or a character that can base her skills off of defense percentage. Versus Noelle, I think XINYAN is just the better character in terms of just her utility and versatility, where Noelle specifically has to be a paladin type character, where XINYAN has that utility, she can do offense, and she has versatility. So, moving on to her weapons, obviously you can go a very interesting route with her. I don't know how far out this is extended, hopefully it hasn't extended much, but here we go. Looking at the swords are kind of straightforward. They have some utility, I mean not swords, but the claymore, they have some form of utility, but it's really up to you guys to see exactly what you want. I see people using Blackcliff Slasher because of the crit damage increase, which is good, right? Crit damage increase means that during the Fervor's Fever, or the Riff Revolution, is going to get a good bump of damage because crit rate is at 100%, means every time you hit that crit attack. So there's a lot. You can use the Lithic Blade with her for every character in the party who heals from Liet, the character who equips it. She gains 6%, or she already gains 6% attack, increase in 2% crit rate increase, so for every character who ramps up with damage. And then the White Blind is also going to be a decent offensive tool for her, especially if you're going to use her as a paladin, as type of character where you invest all of the stats into her. it's gonna be pretty good, pretty nice for everyone. Keep that in mind. There are other weapons on its way. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to be seeing for some of these characters, whether we're going to get physical damage output and stuff. But for the most part, she's kind of straightforward in the sense where, for weapon choices, she pretty much has very specific weapon choices. And for artifact-wise, I think a split between the Chevalier 2-piece set and a 2-piece Glad set, or a 2-piece retracted bullet set is going to be pyro damage and pyro resistance and increasing pyro. I don't think that she's one of the characters that you invest wholeheartedly into for the moment, but give her versatility and strength. So increase into the damage, increase into all those things. I think she was one of the characters that for Bloodstained Chivalry it actually was for, and for Bullet as well. So hopefully that was good enough for all you guys. Hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from with all these characterizations. I'm sorry if you can't see me very well. Natural lighting is a but yeah. That's XINYAN for you guys. I want to thank you guys for watching. Sorry this went on a little bit too late or too long. If you guys are new to the channel, consider dropping a subscribe, that red button down there, and I will see you guys next one. Oh wait, and don't forget like, comment, and I already said subscribe, but like, comment, hit the notification bell, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Instagram giveaway is still going on. You guys have your time to get your entries, and I'll catch you guys. Bye!